I really need some sort of a birthday hat. Maybe I can add one. We'll see. Not sure how that's going to work out. But welcome to my birthday. Thank you so much. Yes, it is my birthday, and today I am 52 years old.
You don't look a day over 1,000.
You know what? I am not afraid to admit that. I learned to crochet when I turned 50, so this will be my second full year in April. That will be my crochet anniversary. So maybe I'll have to do some fun video for my crochet anniversary as well. But I thought I'd do something a little bit fun today. I don't have a big enough audience. I love every one of you, but there's not a lot of you yet, so I can't really do an Ask Me Anything. So instead, what I did is I went out to AI, I think it was ChatGPT or something like that. I can't remember exactly which one it was. And I asked it to give me a list of questions that I can ask myself. Now, I have not actually looked at this list yet. I just copied it and pasted. I think I looked at maybe the first 2 or 3 just to make sure that it was vibing with the kind of questions that I was looking for. And I thought today what I would do is I would go through and ask myself those questions and give the answers as if I was being interviewed. I hope it's fun. We'll see. Let me pull up that list. The first question, and I'm just going to read these, and if there's any that really kind of suck, I'll just edit those out. Your first crochet project. What was the first thing that you ever crocheted, and do you still have it? Well, this is kind of a 2-for, because I definitely still have, I don't have it right here. The first thing that I ever crocheted was actually a washcloth, because I was literally just practicing my rows and stitch count and tension and all that kind of and all of that kind of good thing. I'm feeling a little giddy today. Maybe because it's my birthday. But the first legitimate thing that I actually crocheted was this little guy. And that's because when I first started, I was thinking that I was going to do all amigurumi. That was everything I was going to do in crochet was going to be amigurumi. So I started by making this guy, and then I realized I'm not very good at amigurumi. I'm not sure that I have a tight enough tension, and I'm just not sure that I like doing that, so it hurts my hands. But that is definitely the first guy that I made, and yes, I still have them. And yes, I even still have the washcloth that I made. My favorite yarn. So the yarn that I don't know, it depends on the project. I'm not sure that I have one favorite. There are definitely in different categories. Like, I love things that are super soft. It's probably easier for me to say my least favorite yarns, which are traditional wools. Like the super washed wools I can handle, but like a traditional fisherman's wool that's really kind of thick and you can't wear it next to your skin because it's super itchy. I don't like to use those, and I don't like to use the inexpensive or certain acrylics that have that really scratchy feel, like Red Heart, not my favorite. So I'm very tactile. It's not so much about one specific type of yarn as a category of how it feels. Mohair, Angora, those luxury yarns, those are heaven. I love those. I don't use them all the time, obviously, because they're expensive. A crochet technique that intimidated you. Okay, well, I'm not sure that I've explored enough different techniques. That's definitely on my goal list for this coming. I don't think I have a good answer for that one yet. I have not had any techniques that I said, nope, not doing that, after I've kind of dove in and tried it. So I'm still in that hey, I'm gonna keep giving this a go until I get it figured out. Now, some of them obviously are a little bit more challenging. Color work definitely does make me nervous. I'm afraid I'm not gonna be good at it, but it's not gonna intimidate me to the point where I won't do it. Your most challenging project. Okay, so my most challenging project. There is one that I don't know. I've had a few garments lately that are really putting me through the ringer.
Ah! It's literally so hard. Okay, you guys, seriously, your face.
I have the one that I frogged and redid a few times because I just wasn't getting gauge and it just kept getting larger and larger instead of smaller and smaller. I have one that I couldn't get the count right, and so I haven't finished that one. And then I have one that I started and just frogged out and said, no, I'm going to move on to another project for now. So they've all been garments, but I never give up on them. They're just, as my mother-in-law says, they're in timeout. So I'm going to come back to them, but they've definitely been challenging me. The weirdest place you've crocheted. Now, I probably could have written this question for myself because if you've watched some of my TikToks, I have crocheted in some rather unusual locations. Probably the weirdest was while I was kayaking on Mystic River in Connecticut. And to be honest, I was probably doing that more for the photo shoot than actually to crochet. Probably the place that I've crocheted that like I was legitimately actually trying to accomplish something and kill some time was at a baseball game. So I have crocheted in a lot of different places, and part of that was just kind of to say, hey, you can crochet just about anywhere. Next up, my favorite crochet hook. Okay, well, I'm actually going to be doing a video here pretty soon, experimenting with some different hooks. Right now, I got to be honest with you, I haven't found any that are expensive that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to spend the extra money on that. Not even the Clover. Like, I have a Clover Amore, it's got the ergonomic handle and the metal tip. But honestly, the inexpensive ergonomic metal hooks I have found work just fine for me. So I did buy a few different ones, like a prim and a tulip, and just some of these different ones to explore and see if I notice any difference. We'll see. But so far, I'm not really like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of good with the inexpensive ones so far, but not plastic. Don't like plastic generally. So the prim will be interesting to see if the prim changes my mind about plastic and if there really is a difference between cheap plastic and quality plastic. We'll see. How you organize your yarn stash. Okay, so I have a video that I will share that talks about my yarn stash. Physically in the space, I tend to organize it by weight of the yarn, and then if I have to break it down even further, I'll break it down by type, like all of the wools will be together, all of the acrylics will be together, that kind of thing. So I do it that way, but I don't have like a wall of yarn because I live in a very dusty place and it would be so full of dust so fast that I would have to wash it before I actually used it.
Dust harder.
So most of the yarn, other than like what I keep out for kind of occasional decoration that I can swap out periodically, I keep them in bins and drawers and things that are enclosed. And then I actually use this digital system to track everything because I'm kind of nerdy that way. I like to track things and I like to know exactly how much I have and what I have, and I use that to browse so I don't have to pull out all of the bins and say, what do I got? I still kind of pull out the bins, but you know, it helps a little bit. So my crochet bucket list. Ooh, well, this is actually a good one because I might be doing this as a video coming up too, a whole video, but definitely I want to try some color work, whether that is mosaic or tapestry. Just, I don't know, that just really appeals to me. I love some of the different looks of some of the garments that they have in those things and some of these blankets. I don't know if I ever have the patience to do an entire mosaic blanket. I haven't done a blanket at all, so that might be like, yeah, because I like variety and I like quick wins, so that might not be something I do, but I do love the garments. So my most expensive yarn purchase, well, this was probably the yarn, like I'm talking a single skein here, not like a big haul. I would say that's probably the yarn that I bought from the Outer Banks in North Carolina, and it was the gorgeous sunset. Here, I'll show you the picture of what I made. I made this cute little bag with it, and it was inspired by the Outer Banks sunset, and I think that was $32 a skein. Now I have some more expensive yarn, but I didn't purchase it myself. I was gifted that yarn, so I don't count that in the purchase. And of course I've had like big hauls where, I've purchased, over $100 worth of yarn in one setting. But as far as a single skein, that was the hand dyed. This was a hand dyed, even though I bought it at a shop, it was hand dyed by a local dyer, and it was just gorgeous. And I consider it, even though actually I think it was like around 36. Did I say 32? It was somewhere between 32 and 36, but I consider it as much a souvenir because I bought it when I was on vacation there as I do just yarn for my stash. So to me, it was well worth the price. What is your go-to crochet snack or drink? I don't really have one. I mean, usually when I'm crocheting, I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. Either my husband's off bowling or he's sitting next to me and we're watching together. But I don't generally snack that much. And usually if I'm drinking something, it's either going to just be water or it might be tea. But that's not a big one for me. How I learned to crochet. Well, if you saw my very first video, then you know that I am actually pretty much self-taught. I did ask my mother-in-law for some tips to get started and learn a few things, but from there I just watched YouTube videos. And the biggest tip that I have for you on those is slow the videos down. And the second biggest tip is if the first video doesn't click for you, there are at least 5 more that you can look up that teach the same skill. So try a different teacher, try a different video, try a different instructor, and keep working at it and practicing and practicing and practicing. So literally, I am self-taught through YouTube videos. My favorite crochet memory. I don't know. I mean, all of my friends and family have pretty much concluded that I am addicted to crochet. And when I was visiting my best friend this weekend, she's like, how do you finish so many projects so quickly? And I shared with her, I'm like, I think I probably crochet an average of 20 hours a week because that is my downtime. That is what I want to do when I am sitting watching TV or when I crochet while I'm on the treadmill. Between doing things that I need to get done, it's just right now, crochet is everything to me. So I have so many memories of crochet that they're all just, everything's amazing. I just love crochet. I'm addicted. My name is Nicole, and I'm addicted to crochet. Crochet superstitions or rituals. I'm breaking this rule lately, but generally speaking, I've in the past preferred to have no more than 3 crochet projects going at one time. If I couldn't finish one of those 3, I didn't want to start another one. So I was a little bit more like I didn't have a lot of hibernating projects. I didn't have, things where I would switch on and off. But as I am doing more complex projects, I find that there are times when I want to do something that is quicker and easier, kind of like your TV watching type project. There are times when I want to sit down and really focus on something that's more complicated. And there are times where I just need that quick win that it's like, hey, this took me an hour to finish and I am so happy that I did it. So, and I have like my crochet Christmas garland that it is just a never-ending project. I don't know, 5 years from now, I might have enough Christmas garland to finish my tree, but it's just kind of an ongoing thing. So that's kind of my rule, is to not have too many projects going at any one time and just really kind of, but balance and explore and constantly be learning and all that kind of good stuff. What is my crochet style? So this is all about what types of things do I like to crochet? What do I lean towards? I can't think of anything that I don't like crocheting yet, other than some of the amigurumi that's really small. Like I crocheted one of those balloon dogs for my husband, and I hated that because my fingers, I don't know, it was just too tight and too, yeah, yes, that it was, I didn't have fun crocheting that. But I still enjoy crocheting both complex and simple projects. I do tend to prefer yarns that are, I would prefer a yarn that's like this, where it's all purples and all of the purples are in there. It's not a solid color, but it also doesn't have lots of color variation. I find that when I work with yarns like this, they don't work up quite as lovely to me. Doesn't mean that you wouldn't love it. I just don't find the way that they work up quite as attractive, particularly like on a garment. Now, when I made the purse out of the yarn that was sort of similar to this, actually, it did turn out beautiful. But that, I don't know that I would like that on a garment. Now, these, I actually do like the way that these work up, and they give a lot of character. I also like some of the more speckly yarns, so it's all sort of kind of one base color, but then it's got speckles throughout it, so it adds some texture in the yarn without it's color texture, it's depth, it's that kind of thing. So that I love more so than a solid color. Now, that being said, solid colors are great for patterns that have different types of stitch, and so then the stitch is really the star of the show as opposed to the yarn. I like a variety of things. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about crochet is that there are so many amazing ways that you can experiment and play and have fun. I just finished making a hat and cowl for Christmas out of mohair, and it's actually a mohair and alpaca blend, and it feels so soft and luscious. I just love that. So I love that. The project that you are most proud of. Well, this I definitely still think is the bag using the special yarn. And I'm proud of this one because one, I didn't use a pattern. I just kind of made it up as I was going along. And I had an idea, a concept in my head that I wanted to make to highlight the fact that this was a yarn from the Outer Banks and the beach and the sunset and the water. And I felt like I really achieved my vision for this. Now, are there things that I would have done differently to do it over again? Absolutely. But I just love this bag and I think it's neat. And every time I look at it, I get super excited about it. And the final one, how crochet changed your life. You know, I took up crochet for a couple of reasons. Well, I kept seeing the ads for the Woobles and I thought, well, maybe I can, my granddaughter is, she's at that age where it might be fun to make her some stuffies and have some fun with that. And as I'm sitting here on the couch, I'm kind of spending all of this time just playing games on my phone, and I'm getting frustrated because I'm having to watch the ads constantly. And my business was also getting to the point where it was slowing down dramatically, and I was starting to feel pretty low. I don't think I've shared this before, but I was feeling rather depressed that this business that I had built up was starting to slow down. It was not producing the way it had previously. And I was kind of having a little bit of that midlife crisis of who am I and what am I all about? So I decided to learn how to crochet, and it kept me off my phone. It helped to give me something that made me excited again, allowed me to have a little bit more joy in my life, made me feel accomplished in a way that I hadn't in a while, and gave me something that I could do no matter what all of the other circumstances in my life were. I could crochet while I was on the road with my husband. I could crochet even if there was nobody else around. There were just so many gaps that could be filled with this hobby. And then when I started doing the YouTube channel, it also gave me an outlet to share because I'm a sharer. I like to share things. And even if there's only a few people that watch, and if you're still around at the end of this video, thank you so much because you are amazing. And that's a great birthday present to me. That's okay. At least I've shared it with a few people, and that makes me happy and it makes me feel good. And it makes me feel fulfilled in a way that I was not feeling fulfilled anymore in my life. So crochet's been pretty amazing for me. I don't see me giving it up anytime soon. It's just a wonderful outlet, and it allows me to turn my brain off from all of the stress and drama of life while still having so many things that I can learn and improve. And I'm a chronic learner. That is just something about me. I love to learn and I love to always learn and I love to always challenge myself. So I need those things, but I need them in a way that is not stressful to me. So crochet checks those boxes. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my birthday special, and I appreciate you watching because it means everything to me. If you do like these videos, go ahead and give me a like. That'd be a great extra special birthday present, as well as subscribing so you can see all my content, which normally isn't just this long-winded me chatting. Well, sometimes it is. Anyway, hope you can skip the ones you don't like, you can watch the ones you do like, and get a great combination of all of those. Thank you so much.